All right, well, the next thing we are going to tackle, it's an essay. It's a writing project, but it might be a little bit different than what you've done in the past. This one is called This I Believe. I want to give you a little background on this essay because it actually does have some historical context in the United States. So, This I Believe was a writing project that was started by this guy, Edward R. Murrow. Um, and just for you know, fun, I will give the first person who can come to my room and tell me significant information about Edward R. Murrow, other than he was a journalist who started this, I believe. Um, I will give you two extra credit points. Two. But you got to come to my room and tell me significant information about Edward R. Murrow. Um, but anyway, back to the essay. So this, I believe, was started by this man, Edward R. Murrow, and the idea behind it was that Edward R. Murrow was existing in a time when there was a lot of negative hostility, and tension in the United States. There was the Red Scare, led by Joseph McCarthy. There was a lot of racial tensions, and the civil rights movement was starting to kind of started to reach a breaking point. So, there was a lot of scary, sometimes frightening things that were going on in this country. And Edward R. Murrow wanted to remind people why they should continue to have faith and have hope. And so he started this project called This I Believe, in which he would have famous people like Jackie Robinson or Albert Einstein. People like that would write and then record their I believe statements. And it was like their own little mantras, I guess, and then kind of a 3 to 5 minute explanation as to why they hold that belief. So here is what I want you to do. I want you to open a Google document, and I want you on that Google document to do a few things. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to make a list of 10 things you know to be 100% true. Now, these are not things that are, purely fact, like I know the sun comes up every morning, or, I know, or I believe that, I'm going to be 18 years old this year, whatever, whatever the case may be, right? We want things to be that they're not technically facts, but you believe them to be so true they might as well be facts for you. So you can see, like I've listed a few things here. Now, number one, I know the Royals will win the World Series someday. They did that, so I'm gonna have to change that one. But you can look at my other ones. Like I know Walter White. I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. I know Walter White is a very bad man. So obviously, that's not even a real person, and arguably that's not even a real fact. But I believe that to be 100% true. My family is crucial to my existence. I know that I have still so much left to learn. I know my grandpa is the most content person I've ever met. I know Inception was better than Interstellar, and I will argue with anyone who disagrees. I know love is the most powerful emotion and the only one that truly matters, right? You can read into those things whatever you want, but bottom line is those are 10 things that I believe so strongly that they are things that I absolutely know to be 100% true without a doubt. Okay? So on a Google document, I want you to list 10 things that you know to be 100% true. When you are done with that, when you've listed those 10 things on that same Google document, I want you to do a couple other things. I want you to go to this website, thisibelieve.org, and I will show you that website in just a second. Then you're going to click on the Listen tab, and I want you to select two essays that you would like to listen to. And then with those essays, I want you to write on that same Google document where you listed your 10 things that you know to be 100% true. I want you to write a 2 to 3 sentence summary of each of those essays on that same Google Doc that you did your things I know to be 100% true. Okay. I want you to make sure that you include the author and the title of the essay. Okay. So make sure you include the author and the title of the essay when you write your summary. So let me show you what thisibelieve.org looks like. If you go to this, I believe, It looks like this. All right. And when you get there, right, you'll see a lot of different features down here. There's some that you can listen to. There are some that you just read. So you can read them or you can listen to them. I actually really don't care. Um, but where I like to start is I go to the Explore, and then I go to. You can look at featured essays. You can look at special features that they've got going on right now, like so essays they have on decency, essays they have on thunderstorms, essays they have from our parents, travel, so on and so forth. You could look at that; those are fun. I always like to look at the 1950s essays because I kind of like, historical nerd. But there are some really cool ones here. My favorite one, Gandhi, that's a really good one. I like that one. And Robert Heinlein. I haven't listened to this one, but he's a famous author. Wrote Starship Troopers. If let's see here. Here's the Jackie Robinson one, Free Minds and Hearts at Work. This is a really good one. So you can listen to this. And they're about, let's see, this one is 4 minutes long. So, they're not super long, but listen to a couple of them. You can listen to any of these on here that you want. If you want to find on specific topics, you can do essay search and you can type in like age. You can look at themes. So if you want to find essays that are written on sports, you can click that. I mean, there's thousands of these. Respect, responsibility. So you can do whatever you want. There's lots of different options here. But of all these essays, I want you to find two that you really really like, and you're going to write a 2 to 3 sentence summary of each essay, recording the title and the author's name with that. So on that Google document at this point, you've got the 10 things you know for sure, and then you've got your two summaries. Okay. Going back to this, when you are done doing that, hopefully it's generated some ideas and things that you can write about. You have some things you might want to explore, and you're going to create your own essay. So you're going to create your own This I Believe essay on that same Google Doc where you did everything else, and you're going to write a rough draft. And the rough draft should be no more than 600 words. So when you start getting to 2 pages, typed double spaced, you've done enough. So you really want to keep it brief. This is not like a 10-page thing. This is really no more than 2.5 pages typed double spaced. If you start getting that long, you need to start cutting stuff out. Okay. And I'll show you the guidelines for the essay in just a second. But my guideline for you is that the essay is shared with me on Google Drive by Wednesday, August 17th at 11:59. You can obviously share it with me before then, but by Wednesday, um, August 17th, 11:59, you need to have that essay shared with me. Okay. And then once that essay is shared with me, the second half of the week, we're going to do some peer edits, but we'll worry about that later. We're not going to concern ourselves with that yet. Okay, so if you go back to thisibelieve.org, and if you click on the Educators tab and you click on This I Believe Essay Writing Guidelines, these are the guidelines that This I Believe set up. All right, and so there are 5 basic guidelines here, and the first one is to tell a story about you, and be specific, right? So find a belief that has a story attached to it. And if I'm thinking about, for example, that second one that I had on my um, um, list was that I know Walter White is a very bad man. There is a story attached to Breaking Bad. Not only did I love the show and did I think it was, one of the greatest shows ever made, I have some personal attachments to that. My sister and brother-in-law, my brother-in-law has since passed away. We would always, that last season of Breaking Bad, we would always get together every single week and watch that together because it was we all three loved it. It was our favorite show. Um, so I kind of have a little story attached to it. So that, even though Walter White was kind of a bad man in a very in an odd way, he did some really good things for my family, and I really appreciate that. So I have a story attached to that, and through that, and through me telling the story, you can see that kind of when it says make sure your story ties to the essence of your daily life philosophy and the shaping of your beliefs. Um, through that, you'd be able to tell that not only do I value really good television, but I also really value time spent with my family. And so that's something that would show up through that essay about Walter White. Okay. The second one is to be brief, right? Again, I already said you don't want to go over 500, you don't want to go over 600 words. If you start getting that long, you want to, oh, excuse me. When you start getting that long, you want to start cutting some things out. You want to name your belief, right? So if you can't name the belief in a sentence or two, you're probably not focused enough. So really make sure you can name the belief like I did. So really use those 10 things you know for sure and use that as the basis for your beliefs, all right? Be positive. I want to know what you do believe in. I don't want to know what you don't believe in. All right, so be very positive. I would try to avoid, like it says, avoid statements of religious dogma, preaching, or editorializing. I know we're kind of in a hotly contested political season. Try to avoid some of the more controversial political topics. Um, don't preach about, why the death penalty is wrong or why abortion is wrong or, all those things, right? Um, um, try to try to be as positive as you can and don't preach or editorialize your essay. And the last thing is be personal, right? Speak in the first person, make the essay about you. Um, tell a story about yourself. Make it very personal. This is a great opportunity for you to share something very special and about yourself with me. And I really want that. I really want that opportunity. So I will tell you that one person in the room, one person in the class is going to read it, but other than that, it's not going to be shared beyond this, and it would just be you and I looking at this, with the exception of that one person in the class. Okay, so that's it. That's it, right? So again, needs to be shared with me by Wednesday at 11:59. Happy writing, and I really stress to you, don't think too hard about this, right? Don't think about while you're writing your rough draft. Don't think about the conventions of writing right now. Just write. Get the thoughts down. We'll worry about all the revision and everything later. But have some fun with this and really explore kind of what belief it is you really hold dear. And I think you'll have a good finished product. Okay. Happy writing, and I will talk to you guys real soon. See you.